You know, it's almost sad that it's about to be over, but it's a beautiful time because now everyone has nothing to lose. Jump in there, find as many kills as you possibly can and make the last run for the top 3 positions. Still a lot of money, even if you can't claim number 1. That may belong to China, but everything else is still up for grabs.
Well, it looks like that spot for number 2 and number 3 is very contested right now. WTSG, Liquid, and everyone's coming up behind them right now. So, Toby, this is a situation where these guys really are playing for pride, trying to get into that top 5 position. You just heard Martin say it. There's still a lot of money at stake. And for these guys, it's all about the competition. Liquid had an opportunity to make something happen last game. I would have liked to see, again, Martin mentioned this on the analyst desk as well, that when Ibiza hit that nade, that they come up, collapse on his position, give him a little bit of support, but they had lots going on, lots to manage. So for Liquid, they have some momentum, they have the ability. Can they climb into that 2nd or 3rd spot?
Yeah, it's that beautiful time when you can sit there as an observer and see everything that's playing out around. It's like, you can push this, you can go for this, this is the opportunity, and it just doesn't happen. And they don't know it, they don't know what we know. But we are watching the entire drop already done. The circle has been planted, and we are pretty well northwest. The river will cut this circle in half.
Liquid actually hanging on to that 3rd spot right now. They do have a bit of a gap behind them. About 400 points separate them for 4th place. So now it's trying to catch WTS. TSG, and even for OMG, who's had such a great, amazing, world-class tournament so far.
Yeah.
They do have the ability to clinch this very easily in this game, but it's not over yet. WTSG, we've seen yesterday, OMG got 800 points in 1 round, and that's for a 20-kill win. So WTSG has their work cut out for them. Hey, we'll see if they can do it.
That was their last round of yesterday. That's why you never want to count anybody out. But yeah, 800 points, sure. OMG get last position. They just run themselves over with cars, and anything is going to be possible in this game.
Relax, go out for a smoke maybe, you know.
That's all we can hope for, at least. But with this northern circle, not a lot of teams are already in established positions. This is going to be that interesting contest as well that's going to happen around Pollyanna. Team Liquid are not alone over there, and there's going to be a lot of congestion coming in through the eastern side. Again, I feel like we had this very similar circle yesterday, and the bridge points became the real critical points for contesting.
And really, that's all about map control in this circle, where you can grab onto one of those many important compounds. You can already see a couple of teams headed center trying to get that scout position early. Avangard has already done so. But yes, grabbing onto a choke point, using that map control around the river is very important to make sure that you don't have a ton of enemies flooding around you in the mid game.
Yep.
And for all of these guys, especially if you're coming out of Yasnaya, you want to try and grab a center spot early. But for Liquid, they have a long loot phase ahead of them. They want to be as ready as possible. They want to be ready to defend all those coming for that 3rd position.
Yeah, these loot phases actually appear to be really easy for all teams. We had no one run over by early vehicles. We've had no teams really drop right on top of each other. Everyone spaced out. As always, South George is a little bit more clustered than normal, but it's not any team looking for the blood just yet. It's all going to be about the choke points and the movement up. And you're actually getting your first little bit of fire coming in as Myth make their way over the bridge for the first time.
OMG opting for the split strategy. Gold holding on to this Novo region. We've been seeing them there all tournament long. They have lots of opportunity to get lots of loot, but for OMG, they're holding on to a split strategy around the southern portion of the main island. They do have to get through Ghost and Pachinki, but we haven't seen OMG taking too much pressure in rotation, and that's been very important for them, translating that success into the mid and late game.
Yep. Liquid's actually making their movement out too. They're leaving Pollyanna to 4 a.m. Probably going to take those buildings on the hillside that they've taken previously. Right now, that northeastern circle is very, very barren.
Knights having a decent showing, currently 5th place. They do have the opportunity here to jump up into that 2nd or 3rd spot with a good couple of games. We've seen flashes from them. Really good ability coming out of Krema. He's got 11 kills, top ranking on his team, followed by Voxic. And I think that for the Knights, they definitely have that ability to make these last 2 games huge for themselves if they manage to use that utility and hit rotations precisely without losing anybody.
Yeah, hey, you got confidence from the last round, right? Like, you still made it into the top 3. You were still looking to battle it out to the very, very end. Yeah, the numbers weren't in your favor, but it's a new game. They got 4 players up, and they want to try and keep it that way as long as they possibly can. Looks like Liquid actually went a little bit deeper in. They went to the southern side of the shooting range, which is just up on the hill. And this brings them quite close over towards Myth, who already did their early rotations. And this is that congestion I was talking about. There's not that many great compounds up there. And it looks like Myth as well as AVG have already claimed both of the 2 critical ones in the middle of the circle.
Not surprised to see Liquid centering early. It's a conservative strategy. They're trying to hold on to their position on the leaderboard. And now they find themselves kind of surrounded with Myth, but it's not too big of a worry. It looks like they have at least a little bit of a setup here. They have all men on deck. And for Myth, they haven't been having a great time in team fights, and going up against Liquid would be pretty difficult this early.
Yeah. Savage got their long run. They're going to be staying around Milta for a while. They are still looking to get themselves better on the board. 3 kills against all of their players for a ranked 19. It's a Savage position in the group, you could say.
Tough. That's very tough for them. 19th spot, 3 kills. Not a lot going on for them, but now it's OMG in transition. Zhao Hai is trying to sneak past Sexy Pig.
Yeah, if Sexy Pig can connect on that one, then a lot of these teams are starting to actually breathe a sigh of hope that OMG will be in trouble. Those early kills make it difficult for OMG to do this 2-2 split that they've been so good at. It's actually, and WTSG are in as well.
Looks like a 3-1 for now. That is a scout maneuver for Zhao Hai, trying to grab a center spot. Trying to get north of this river is going to be very important. Looks like teams are going to be banking on it not coming south again. So if it does shift south once again, it's going to be hard to get across those choke points more than once. They want to avoid that.
WTSG, they're under siege. AHQ have already come over, and they're going to try and take out the hill. Rather difficult when Gaxy's got the line. Not just getting the knock, but getting the kill onto M4.
Nice pick up there early for Gaxy. Looks like he's got more along this ridge line. Vard and Miracu there to support. Gaxy doesn't have any line of sight on them currently, but it looks like AHQ is going to want to back this off and not take any more casualties this early.
Yeah, they'll take a couple of shots, but they will get away. At the same time, you had Myth and Team Liquid engaging themselves. Yep, that's great craftsmanship is what that is.
It's a really well-built fence.
So this is that Myth situation. Rather difficult to hold that compound, mainly because you've just got this huge hill right behind you, and that's what Liquid are trying to make the most of. But once the knock does come,
Myth is separated as
Liquid
well.
will have to push it to get him down.
Myth is separated, so it looks like if they do want to put pressure on it, they definitely can. Pure Boy taking a shot there, jumping back. AHQ still trying to find a home. They're going to duck away from CGX.
Yeah, already on the run. Actually, they're getting out for the moment, so Pure Boy with the mini. I don't know if he saw it through the foliage. He's got some personal connection with that car, coming back to check and see if it's okay every couple of seconds. But AHQ with their 1 player down don't really want to get into huge engagements. 1 pickoffs, the scouts, they'll be fine with this. Knights are making their rotation, so that northeast of the circle I said was clear before. No longer clear. 4AM's already bailed out of Pollyanna too. CGW will be a little bit late in, but they are still inside the circle where they are.
OMG opting for a long rotation around the outside, taking the Georgia Bull Bridge going south and north. That'll avoid that congestion in the center. OHM under pressure early.
He is just 1 player. TMH surrounded by gates. He goes inside the house and, well, Mortify knows exactly where he is, and Exco, he'll get the knock and the kill. TG take the compound.
That center area now starting to get very dense with players. Most everyone has made their way across the river. Na'Vi actually getting intermingled with OMG in rotation, not opting to stop. I think OMG is going to take a little bit extra time to loot, maybe grab some of those extra meds, extra grenades they've been wanting. It looks like Knights have a line of sight on CPT.
The extra forces are coming in right past CPT. Drove straight past him.
1 more shot and he'll go down. Luckily, he'll be able to get away.
Texas can't connect. CPT goes to the compound that Liquid were able to hold up yesterday. Speaking of Liquid, Texas getting knocked in Knight style. Texas with that scout roll, getting picked and dropped.
Liquid has the high ground on them. The Knights do have a decent compound, but they didn't lose. They didn't get there unscathed. Looks like Ibiza is going to back this off. Liquid, again, just more concerned about map control, trying to hold on to their center spot. They know that there's going to be a lot coming center. They have the shooting range hill relatively sewn up, but the Knights have this low ground position. They have the ridge to work with, and they're just going to let Texas go for this round.
Yeah. As long as no one can reach them with their bullets, and that's a very, very long way. Even on the map, you don't see the line reaching the entire distance.
We've seen that a lot from Texas going down early. He did go down in the tunnels last game. That did kind of break it open. I thought that the Knights would maybe want to pressure OMG from below. Difficult maneuver to make, but if it's anyone to do it, it would be the Knights. But Texas going down this early doesn't really leave them with a lot of options, and they are already on the defensive, still 77 alive.
I feel like he's like the canary you put down the tunnel. It's like, okay, has the gas arrived just yet? Texas is dead.
Texas is dead.
Don't go. This is not a safe place to be.
That's actually a great example. I love that.
It looks like OMG have taken over Georgia Pole now. Na'Vi, they've taken a little bit further to the eastern row, closer towards the crates.
OMG is actually, one thing I've noticed is they extend their loot phase, and you have one player holding a choke on the north side of the bridge while the rest are kind of trash looting in South George by themselves. OMG is going to pile up those nades, pile up those meds, carry as much as they can into the late game. OMG's been so good at following up on their kills with grenades. They do a ton of grenade damage, some of the highest in this tournament. They have Savage coming along behind them. It looks like Savage is going to go completely conservative, hold on to the edge at the very bottom by Gatka, way away from the rest of these teams.
Yeah, they may hope for a bit of a back flank into the rear of OMG. But as you said, like OMG, they wait a long time and they don't get involved in the fights until there's like 16 teams left, at which point you just start burning all of your utility, having the nades come out, and that's why they're probably getting in so much damage, because it's only happening when there's a cluster of teams all in the one area, everyone's within reach of the throw or those medium range bullets.
They play a 3-1 position. It's been very interesting to watch them play in team fights where they have 3 of their members shooting and engaging in team fights with one on flank defense, and as soon as they see a flank coming their way, they all collapse on top of each other and completely avoid any getting separated that you can see from other teams happening. We are going to stay relatively centered in the circle. The northern portion of the play zone is going to be all along the northern side of the map, so that river is still playing a factor, but it looks like now teams are going to want to try and condense a little bit more into the shooting range area.
Yeah, this still looks a little nicer to take, as you said, like that northern side. You've got more hill zones to play with, and even if you are pushed towards the south, you should still have the high ground.
So many players alive here still. Not a lot of the early game action we've seen in other rounds. With 20 teams alive, 77 still remaining, there's a lot happening on the map, and the longer these players stay alive, the harder the next transition is going to be. Team Gates and WTSG both moving directly for center. Looks like WTSG is going to want to grab that spot, but use liquid fuse.
Time to open up, just let it rip. Aries, does he hit connect? No, he does not. he's got the DP, so they are the car killers.
Trying to grab this kill.
Actually, they got the knock.
Aries is down. That's actually Genji Black with the initial, and then he will finish. And it looks like the Chiefs are getting pressure and rotation from Ghost, who have the Ruins area relatively secured. And they are also playing 3-1 with Balak on the north side.
Sexy pick, more time. Savage, they're the ones that rolled through. They decided to take the eastern road, not going through Georgia Pole. 4AM also have a player being knocked. Sexy pick, can he connect? And well, yeah, he does. Knock on down in the protection of the hut, not quite. Gets around the back of the broken car instead.
Savage looking they want to try and support their down teammate.
Oh, this does not look possible.
Yeah, he just can't do it. There's no way to get across there without exposing that head and upper body.
You need to actually burn 2 smokes, and then you only cover one of the line of fires.
I think I would have probably just given up on that one. Getting that res is going to be very difficult. Minoru just dodging a grenade. Looks like Mossy got the pan out. He's ready to go.
He's got the second grenade out. If he hits the corner on the left, this is going to be absolutely perfect. Well, there's the bike run in, so yeah, looking for the pickup on Savage. Looks like that second nade didn't connect.
Valiant effort, but this is how you can find yourself in additional trouble. The res will come out, but
Mossy.
Now what?
There's Mossy's second nade, so Minoru actually does get knocked again, even after his healing. Yeah, stuck up on the hill. Cello's going to push it through. So Myth losing Honboya. And this is, remember that split Myth. They're 2 and 2, so they're trying to hold onto multiple compounds. And Minoru, okay, Mr. Yoppie from far, far away gets a shot through the window.
That
so
sucks
Gates doesn't even get the kill on him.
Unfortunate kill steal there, but it looks like Team Gates will grab control of the compound. Meanwhile, it's OMG under fire.
And this is exactly what the Knights want to have. OMG in vehicles, trying to hide on the northern side of the circle. You know they're going to encroach. But then again, the Knights are not alone where they are. OMG will take the compound. But you see more support coming in, and OMG are trying to take 2 fights at the same time.
This is a smart rotation for OMG. They've managed to get all the way around the northern side. They have that coastal region to themselves, only the Knights that can see them, and they have this compound to hold on to as well, so a lucky pickup. But now this edge strategy, if the circle shifts again, which it will do very shortly, it might force them off that position and into the Knights.
Oh, OHM, they are in the worst spot. They are trapped inside of a shack. Colorist is not only knocked, but also brought down. And Funky M preparing the nade. He'd have to hit it perfectly in the window, but it won't happen. It's just out the front instead.
Oh, nice
breaks
pressure.
the door, and now using it to flank around the side. The grenade's off target, but there's 2 players in close for refund. And this should be a shooting shack at the moment.
Really nice push.
Knocked, killed, and 1 more to go inside.
Refund did very well to use those grenades to force them out and around that shack. Now the smokes have come out, the defense is there, but all they need to do is wait, pop grenades in this thing. They're going to hear that cook. I imagine Poladero wants to jump out. The nade bounced out! The nade bounced out!
Oh, it almost hit him. And Pollock made the chance to run out, but it will not be enough. DJ Chip sitting on the tree to the east, able to claim the shot
that is
as the circle moves once again.
That's an unlucky bounce, but that doesn't do any damage. But now OMG already moving in rotation. The circle has revealed itself. It's centered on Team Gates as well as WTSG. Avangar holding a lot of map control here, spread out as well. Liquid is now going to receive pressure from both CGW and the remnants of Team Gates. Avangar stands between them, but this is going to be a difficult rotation for OMG. Xiaohai already scouting, finding a spot on the edge of the zone. Yep. The Knights in movement.
But they're coming right next to WTSG. He got AH2 in the middle with a +2 inside the car. Yeah, Eska, that's a steep hill, but it's an easy trip down at least, especially now the Chiefs have moved off the mountain.
I love the way OMG sends the scout out. They see if there's any pressure anywhere else, and if they can hear shots, you can see Xiaohai now already on the move. Can't find a seam there to get in. They're playing very carefully. They do not want to take any unnecessary casualties, but there's no good spot for them to get in, so they might just want to ride the circle in, come in late.
Yep, because Chiefs try to rush it in quickly, but it's all about Genji Black, who have already just held up the apartments. So there's no way to get through that southern bridge. Even Ghost will have a hard time. They're going to become swimmers at this point.
Oh,
and now Xiaohai, Funky M, he needs to actually get the knock on him. Xiaohai around the corner and into the shooting range, but maybe not where he wants to go. The bike, it almost explodes Miyu. Xiaohai will die. Refund DJ Chip taking the kill and bringing down one of the number ones.
The rest of OMG have now stopped. They have lost their scout. Now they have to decide how they want to get in. They have HQ to their direct south. Refund has the shooting range. If they rotate the other direction, they'll run into CGX or WTSG. This is going to be a difficult rotation phase for OMG because all those teams have come north of the river. There's nowhere to move, and look at this. It's Mortify hiding in the grass.
Just waiting it out. He's got some good eyes on Knights, but because it's 3-on-1, he needs the rest of his team to come. But Mossy and Chillo, they're busy with AVG. And Mossy, they both saw each other, but Chillo's not replying. In fact, he's just continuing his run now. Keen starts to open up onto Mossy, and you're seeing that line of fire. They cannot get down the hill easily. Keen, just with that line, Mossy has to go to ground.
Nice spread here from AVG. They've got them completely split out. Silo can't help Mossy. Anuktiv looking to see if he can grab that kill. There's no cover for Mossy. He has to run completely away. This is Team Gates' issue. They keep finding themselves in team fights, but they don't have the ability to play together. That firepower not doing anything. Even if they get downs, they get stolen by other teams because they just can't follow up.
Yep. Diaz and Keen have gone so quick on this flank, so Chillo can start his fire. Mumino in close, but there goes Chillo. It's just a close range. It was from up further on the hill, so they'll knock out Chillo and Mossy. All he can do is just wait and hide.
This is not the game that Team Gates wants to be playing here. Now it's up to Mossy. He knows where his teammate just went down, but there's no ability to trade. There's nothing really gained by taking that fight, so he's just going to have to hide there. Meanwhile, the Knights have taken a nice center spot. OMG are now on foot, walking into the zone. They can't use their vehicles anymore because it's just too dangerous, but they will just sneak in on that northwestern side. But there are still 64 alive here going into minute 19.
64 alive, and they've got to walk uphill from that position. This is where OMG, yes, they were able to capitalize beautifully, sitting in where CGX's spot is. And, well, they mowed down, I think it was Black who were coming in from the northwest during that round. And now it's OMG in the tight spot. They're actually surrounded by 3 squads. And WTSG in a great position on the north side. They're the ones that control the crash. Everyone else must come in.
WTSG completely zoning 2 teams right now, CGX and OMG. They have that very important plane crash spot. And look at this, 4 AM and Refund sharing a bit of territory. It looks like Refund knows that there might be someone above them, but they don't have a lot of flexibility here. That shooting range area is very dense with players, but the Knights have a great spot. Avangar now moving with 4 right on top of them. And just like that, Honey Badger Nation is going to be the first to try and vehicle rotate, and they're not looking very good. Neither is Myth on the way through.
Yeah, they kind of got themselves trapped now. They don't have the numbers to be strong enough to push on through. That position didn't pay off for them as Dre just ripping into Mumino.
Wow.
So AVG, he's a long way away. So this nice split that normally gives AVG the angles goes against them, and Mumino will be put down all the way.
Gen.G Gold making a very mad dash through two teams.
They're going into honey badgers.
Yeah, they can see it. There's actually 3 around them, but it looks like there's pressure mounting in all directions. It's going to be Gen.G Gold going at Honey Badger Nation. David taking a lot of damage behind them. Na'Vi ripping into CGX.
Gold at least got inside the circle, so not pressured to push up the hill just yet. As OMG, Sheehan Blue didn't see Lion K or Silent BT.
Rotating down the hill, they do have another flanker there as well. So it looks like they're going to send one out. They don't have the ability to do 3 and 1, so 2 and 1 is going to be the option. Rio landing a nice headshot.
This is problematic for him, as looks like
Lion
the
KK.
orb going to work. God V gets dropped down, so Liquid also gets something onto the board. Grenades, it's a long throw. Could be a good one.
That
Down,
looks okay.
around
That
the
looks all
rocket,
right.
and 1 and 2.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, Pure Boy and Rio, they stay alive. They are in a rough position. Maybe if they can get the knock onto Xiaorong, they can clean up their line, and Pure Boy's looking for it. But Xiaorong behind the rock. And,
way out of cover.
Yeah. I think he's trying to see around the smoke, but here comes the shots from up on the hill. Lion K having to prone on down, but these angles are just so good. Even with OMG losing that early player,
awesome.
they have got CGX locked in and, well, basically having the number punch.
So
Grenades
aggressive. Look,
fly
the molly.
forward. It's the Molotov as well, and the follow-up grenade. These guys, they're awesome. They're great. They're gods.
I cannot believe how poised they are in team fights. The way they execute that, they took a ton of damage, but they executed the strategy. They put Silent in the mid ground. They put Xiaorong on Lion KK on the top, and Xiaorong pressed right on top of them, and they could not deal with that. CGX had no chance there, even with the advantage.
It looks like AHQ, at least maybe they have a chance. Lion K a little bit further away from the rest of his teammates who are currently looting, I assume, is more meds as well as some ammunition.
Well, they take the strength of their enemies every time they take them down. They grab their ammo, they grab the meds, they grab the utilities. OMG is rolling through this.
Does you see Lion K? Wason, look down to the other side. He sees Xiaorong on the run, but they're taking bullets from Na'Vi. So AHQ not really find the right line until now. It's Lion King. Can he hit it?
No.
Hit it!
Here comes the follow-up. Lion K is down. AHQ, even though they did lose one in the initial trade, they did take down Lion K, who's finished off
by Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's a huge loss for OMG.
Yeah, these were the guys who are already making problems before for AHQ. They're the ones that stopped OMG from just getting totally wiped. There's only one player left standing.
Silent's down.
Now for OMG, as Silent does take that fall.
So Lion K is going to get the initial kill on the winner. He'll die in the zone. Now it's only Xiaorong. This could
Na'Vi, look at him go. They surround him and suffocate OMG. 16th position for OMG.
This is great for WTSG.
Yep, they still got a decent amount of kills though, so there's still some points going to be chalked up on the board, but not from the positions.
You can hear the murmurs in the crowd, a little concern there with OMG going down so early. They still have a massive lead, but with WTSG still 4 strong and a decent rotation ahead of them, Team Liquid also looking very good. That 2 and 3 spot is very close, so for now it's about WTSG and Team Liquid trying to figure out this mid game.
Well, they're both trying to control the north. WTSG's got the northwest, Liquid has the northeast, but they don't really have the circle as such. Everyone has to come in, and that's where Refund is starting their own push. Maybe going around Unroot from Black. They're the ones battling on the south side. They finally cleaned up the remnants that was Savage.
The Knights here just trying to get some information. They have a decent spot, decent map control. Gen.G Gold is right there as well.
There goes Honey Badgers. They're out in 14th.
They would have heard those shots. So now the Knights are aware of the fact that Gold is so close to them. WTSG still using this plane crash to try and get into the woods, but they'll have to get through the Knights. They're on their flank. A couple of Team Gates guys there as well, but they're getting awfully close to Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think WTSG is going to be okay, at least with this position. I don't think they want to push it any further. Because if they do, as you said, they'll be on top of Liquid. They'll be on top of Team Gates. Do I dare say that, as Mortify's been there for a while now. But Gold, oh, actually as Myth, that will be removed in 12th position, and it will be Gold as well. I thought there was enough players going down there. They're out in 11th.
That alleviates a lot of pressure on the Knights. Now Na'Vi have a clear path into the zone. WTSG has Refund completely hemmed out. They're going to have to decide if they want to defend this, but if that happens, Liquid could rotate in that direction, but that southern edge of the zone is a lot clearer. It looks like Ghost have 4 up as well.
It's amazing just that coverage they got. Ghost are all together with those 4 players in the southeast. Is Miyogi really? Is there anything in that health bar?
They will get the kill, and they will finish off AHQ, but just like that, They have a path into the zone. Na'Vi rotating that way. That northern end is going to get very messy very quickly, but now look at this. It's WTSG and Liquid.
Larsson's putting down the smokes. He's trying to make sure that Liquid don't have a line of fire into WTSG. Instead, it's over towards the other side of the hill.
Larsson having prone out. Liquid playing very closely knit here as a team, maybe learning from the last round. They are not going to split out here. They need to use all that firepower and point it in one direction. They did get the res onto Gaxi. Vard and Larsson now throwing out smokes, trying to get away from this pressure. This low bowl is an issue for them.
They have to come in now, refund. This is going to pincer in WTSG. Na'Vi, okay, maybe not. Funky M, they turn their attention towards Na'Vi. They'll get 3 inside the circle. Now make it 4.
Look at this. It's like a 4-way team fight. Liquid dealing with WTSG, but there's more to come. Refund does go down. That's Miracu picking up a kill.
Liquid have such a great line. With that position on the hill, they see down everything the light touches belongs to them.
Uba moving around. He's got a couple of kills, 8 total so far.
Gaxi, not what he wanted to have happen. Pino will be dropped, and there goes Refund out of the competition in 8.
Liquid's doing a lot of damage to WTSG, who's now finding themselves in a pinching situation. Gaxi down again.
So quick.
Yeah, he's going to go out here. There's nothing they can do. Now still 3 up, but now they have Na'Vi pushing.
And Na'Vi is on the way. The grenades keep flying. Molodoy able to knock out Miracu. That one looks a little short from Vard. He's got a second one ready. Wow. He gets the nade off before he'll get knocked.
WTSG is in a huge amount of trouble. Na'Vi taking them down.
Not what they needed to have happen. They were sitting in second position at the start of this round. 5 kills is what they've claimed. But does WTSG always do this? There was one player left alive. This time it's Larsson.
WTSG needs to hold on to this. Looks like Liquid is going to take the advantage in this round. Still 4 strong, 7 kills. Not a lot of downs happening on them just yet. They have the meds, they have the ammo. Now, do they have the ability to translate this into endgame success? Na'Vi backing away, rotating against South into the zone. Now, just like that, Dre, the last man standing for the Knights, has to defend against a full 4-strong Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's good luck is the best thing you could say at that point. He's taking fire from a long way, so he's going to grab the UAZ and try and get out, but a sexy pig with a number. That car's starting to smoke up into Na'Vi, but it's Yunroot will be the man to get the kill for Genji Black.
Tough call there for Dre, having to use that UAZ to move away, but Genji Black also moving through the zone. There's actually a lot of teams with a lot of strength here. Avangar holding a split in the center and on the edge, but now the Na'Vi is going at Sexy Pig, and he will get the first one down.
That's where you need to have the cover, at least some suppressing fire, and that's what Na'Vi will do. Smokes out, take away the vision that is there for Black, and they're pushing with 2 while they try and res with the other.
Esther holding the flank defense on the low side. Grammatic on the high side. The res does come out very quickly there. Nice team play from Genji Black.
Good from Na'Vi too. They get the pick up themselves, use the smoke to try and cover their right flank, and then they back off to the left, and that's where most of the grenades were actually flying from Black to the other side, but now they've worked it out. Molodoy, 1 to hit, the second to finish. No, the range is too far.
Very close. Lots of pressure coming on to Na'Vi. And now it looks like Genji Black going on the offensive. They want to take this to Na'Vi.
Through the smoke is dangerous, maybe close enough for a couple of grenades, but they're doing it blindly. They don't know any of the positions of Na'Vi. They've had a fantastic round. That's 10 kills on the counter.
I'm surprised to see Na'Vi backing off this fight. They might not want to take the low ground position. The circle's at their back. They have to get into the zone.
They need a fantastic round is what they need. They need the kills as well as the zone position. Team Liquid, with their 3 players left alive, is Larsson. Enjoying, 4 players just walking over the hill. Wait for it. Wait for a long time. Scoom is looking the wrong way.
He can see all of them. He can see all of them.
Yep, but he has to crawl in a little bit further. The circle's going to start chunking him, and he'll have to stand up and then throw back down again. Does Scoom see it? Yeah, he does. Turns around. WTSG out in 6th position.
That could have been a disaster for Team Liquid. Oh my God, he saw all 4, and that's what players wait for. If you see a player snaking and he sees a player, if he only sees one, he doesn't want to shoot because he doesn't know where the rest are. He saw all 4 Team Liquid players. That was a huge reprieve for Team Liquid, and they're going to continue in this game.
We are playing Defilade only. The circle has moved away from the compound, so AVG will have to come off the eastern side. No team is in there apart from Keen, and he's not really a team right now. He's a one-man show in that circle.
Na'Vi has a lot of kills here, but they're getting picked apart from Sexy Pig and the rest of Genji Black. Grammatic getting down Uba as well. They've already lost 1 player. This is great for Team Liquid, but Genji Black going full aggressive. Ilame in the prone position.
Wait for it, close range. Yunroot #1 looking for Sexy Pig. He cannot finish the job, but Yunroot on the edge of the blue.
Wide open now for Liquid.
Yep, they're opening up. Na'Vi has been eliminated. They got wiped so quickly by Genji Black. And Liquid don't have the angle. Black is still under cover of the Defilade.
8 kills now, still holding on.
So Avangar, they're the ones who will have to come out of the compound, but they have at least the hillside to work with, but it's Ghost who are opening up now.
Wow.
It is a massacre. There's still one kicking. They're trying to put them all down. As Ghost now up to 7 kills in this round. Unit will die to the circle. 4 teams up. Liquid now getting involved as well as Ghost revealed their own position.
Samty does go down. They do have Profi down in the blue, so they will likely secure that kill as well. So that's going to be 1-for-1 in the initial trade between Team Liquid and Ghost. Meanwhile, Avangar kind of on the edge now, getting pressure from Ibiza.
Yeah, they actually have a real hard time getting out of that compound. It is an open field. They'll get into the eastern side of the circle. But Liquid, they control the north, so much of it, but do they really? How much of that do you want to control? You don't have a great line of fire. Ghost get the rest of them in.
They're all coming to support Ibiza. They know that Avangar has not a lot of maneuverability.
Oh, great line around the back of the tree, but he couldn't get the instant knock.
There's one on Anuktiv. Meanwhile, Sexy Big's been eliminated, and now one more down. Skoom also down. Ghost just like that, grabbing an advantage.
They got 2 standing. It's the same for both Ghost as well as Liquid. That grenade looking to finish off the rogue AVG player.
They got to finish it fast and help Skoom.
Perfect. Diaz is gone.
Nice looking nade. The initial med coming out. Skoom is only on his first down, so lots of flexibility there. Looks like Turtle also being rezzed. And just like that, we're back to a 3v3 with one player left.
Yeah, there's no way AVG are going to be able to res their east.
Liquid circle.
Only Keen left, and Ghost already know exactly where he is. They've been throwing nades down towards Keen, and they'll shoot him around the trees.
Nice.
And it's just down to Ghost and Liquid, the last 2 teams remaining. Both with 3 players. Everything's even Stevens.
Ghost has to come up this ridge. Liquid already starting to probe with smokes and grenades, trying to take away as much vision on the flanks. Balak is down, but they have grenades coming out now. I'm not sure if any of those are live.
Ibiza on the run. McCoy, Turtle, they all open up on him, but now it's James and Skoom coming in from the higher side. Balak is in the middle of the smoke. I thought it was Liquid who were the kings of the smoke.
He moved right past
the grenade first. Balak has actually done a complete flank in through the rear. Maybe not so great. There's going to be no more knockouts. No, James will be brought down. Skoom, he still can't see him. Balak is the king of the smoke.
3 now on 1. Skoom in the last position. Balak does get the med. He finds him.
Runs out the side, but it's all Balak. Perfect flank, and Ghost take number 1.